good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1616th day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guest is Dr. Shelly Sharma, BHOSALE. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathy lovers, friends, and doctors, and we have 3 sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi, and from 7:30 to 8:30, and from 8:30 to 9:30, we have an international session in English, and from 9:30 to 10:30, a local language session in Malayalam. As you all know that this forum was formed at the time of COVID, and when there was no way to meet, to communicate one another. So we have started this forum and we were able to connect with doctors from 65 countries have presented papers in this forum in a different subject. All the presentations were really of high quality, and we were able to upload the videos so there, and you can share it with your friends without paying any money. So the purpose of the forum is to take homeopathy to every home around the world. So let me come to today's guest. As you all know, our guest of the day is Dr. Shelly Sharma, BHOSALE. She has completed MD and a PhD holder, and she has been awarded her PhD by our Rajendra Singh. As you all know, he is the Defense Minister of India, and such a connection with the great achievement for Dr. Shelly Sharma. And she had a diploma in IACS from Greece, and she has a special fellowship in psychiatry also. She is practicing since last 2011 onwards, and running 2 clinics independently, one in Mumbai and the other in Sangli. And as a researcher, Dr. Shelly Sharma has been publishing and presenting her scientific research papers nationally as well as internationally in Dubai, Germany, Italy, and many other more places, and has been publishing research articles in scientific research journals nationally and internationally also, and was awarded the best case presentation in Liga 2019, and invited national radio channels to educate people about the benefit of homeopathy. And she was the associate professor in psychology, physiology department, and was invited as a key speaker in many colleges and conducted educational webinars for students, doctors, nationally as well as internationally. As you all know, she had made so many presentations in our forum, and all the presentations were really exemplary, brilliant, and conducted many health awareness camps, walks, and talks for the patients, and running independent YouTube channels to promote homeopathy, to educate people. And today, Dr. will be discussing about understanding the art of extracting mind symptoms to reach the Similimum. So this is a big subject, a very, very interesting subject. So hope all of you will enjoy the same. Welcome, madam.
Hello, namaste. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'll first share my slide.
Yes.
So, Dr. Danish, I'm very happy to be once again coming here. And I'm really liking the passion of this forum for promoting homeopathy. This is wonderful. So, So my topic for today is, as we all know, is understanding the art of extracting mental symptoms to reach the Similimum. So, I've been practicing since 2011. When I started my journey of homeopathy, or when I was a student doing my BHMS or MD, one thing was very sure, that mind is very important in our prescriptions. We all know that mind plays a very vital role in our prescriptions. But what used to happen, and you all can correlate with me. For mine, it was like we used to go to the bedside of the patient. We used to ask few questions like, do you feel like weeping? Yes, I feel like weeping. Okay, the patient is weeping. Do you get angry? Yes, I get angry. Okay, the patient is angry. Or what happened? How did your complaint start? The patient said, yes, my son died 3 years back, and then my complaint started. Correct? And in these, in these kind of mental symptoms, some prescriptions were very successful and some prescriptions were not successful. So this made me think why ailments from grief is not working for all the cases. One, why weeping, when we take as a main symptom, we all know that if the patient is weeping, give pulsatilla. Or if the patient is angry, give him nux vomica. We are very prejudiced with our, with our thinking, with our prescriptions. But then when I started studying deeper, understanding mind in a deeper aspect, understanding mind, not just for prescription, but understanding how mind and body is correlated, my prescriptions became much deeper. My prescriptions, when I was trying to prescribe on the mental level, along with physical and particulars, had become more targeted and my results were more beautiful. So here I'm going to talk about what is the importance of mind when we take a case, what kind of symptoms you need to take when you are taking a mental symptoms of the patient. Don't make it a shortcut. Number one, don't extend it too much. Number two, number three, most important thing is don't be prejudiced. Not every weeping remedy is pulsatilla, not every angry remedy is nux vomica, not every grief remedy is Natrum muraticum or Ignatia ambra. So what is the correlation between mind and body? So before we understand why mind is very important, it's very important for us to understand what is the correlation between mind and body, right? So here I'll try to explain you how scientifically mind and body is connected, how spiritually mind and body is connected, and how homeopathically mind and body is connected. We all know that whenever patient comes to our clinic, many of the times patients are very compensated, like especially when I'm in Mumbai, or nowadays even when you see in interior parts of our country, the mental symptoms are highly compensated. People know how to talk, how to sit, how to walk, etc. You will not get the purest forms of the symptoms. So uske liye humko kya karna hai? We have to understand the patient at the deepest. We have to try to extract the mental symptoms, right? And how we'll do that, I'll just explain you. Now let us understand what is mind according to the science. So mind is what? Many of us think mind is brain. Many of us understand mind is, our thought process. Many people think mind is emotion, correct? So what is mind according to science? Mind is the totality of psychological phenomena and capacities encompassing both conscious and subconscious state. So here it is very, very clear that mind is not just your conscious reactions, mind is also your unconscious reactions. So it is very important for us to understand what are the conscious reactions in your patient, why does we get a specific conscious reactions, and how we have to understand the unconscious reactions. Correct? We all know that Sigmund Freud said that, there are three parts of mind: your conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. So what is conscious mind? Conscious mind is that part of the mind. I'll show you just a minute. Yeah. So what are the parts of mind when you understand according to Sigmund Freud, right? It is your conscious mind, subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. So the most upper part where you can see thoughts and perceptions are the conscious mind. So these are the things we are aware of. For example, we are aware of our thoughts, right? We are aware of what we perceive. This is a place where we try to analyze things and we try to cover up things. For example, there is a patient who is very violent, who is very angry, and in rage, he can just kill someone, right? When he gets angry. Like cantharides. Cantharides is a remedy. Subconsciously, it is a very violent remedy. It is a very aggressive remedy. To an extent, it can kill the opposite person, right? Now, when cantharides is in the public place, or when you are in a public place, you filter your emotions. You try to filter your thoughts, right? At home, you can be very abusive, you can be very angry. But when you're in the public place, you try to be good, you try to be decent, you analyze everything. But here is not where you will prescribe. Because if you'll prescribe only on the conscious aspect of a person or conscious part of the case taking, you will, you not get the crux of the patient. You will not get actual the cream of the patient, which is very important for prescription. Remember, friends, I'll tell you one thing. The more you go deeper in your case taking, like from the conscious mind to subconscious mind to unconscious mind, the deeper your prescriptions become. We usually think in order to be the best prescribers, you have to have the best knowledge of materia medica or repertory. But no, after my 16 years of practice, I understand one thing. It is your deepest level of case taking which will give you the best of the results. For example, till you don't understand the subconscious motives. Now, I'll tell you about my case, right? So there is a patient of mine who came with prostatomegaly. So he was a very decent man. He came, he sat, he was a very well-dressed person. He was sitting in my whole consultation, but he was very restless throughout the case taking. So he was giving all the good aspects of his case, like, doctor, I don't express my anger, I don't show my anger, right? Second thing is, these were all his compensated thoughts, right? Doctor, I'm very fearful. What are you fearful about? I'm very much fearful about maybe fear of cancer. And what else he said? He said, I have fear of going in public. I don't like fights. So, on superficial aspect, it was a very mild remedy, very controlled remedy. So I tried to go deeper into the remedy. One thing what I observed in his case taking was he was constantly restless. He was very restless person. He was sitting, he was moving his limbs, he was moving his lower extremities, he was moving his upper extremities. He was very restless. Even when he was talking to me, his neck was very restless. He was just trying to search something. So I was getting an impression his restlessness is not his conscious, his restlessness is subconscious irritation. So it is very important to note what are his uncompensated symptoms. So one thing I noted about the remedy was he was very restless. Second thing, he said, doctor, my speed is very fast. I'm very energetic. I can take decisions very fast. So I need a remedy which is highly energetic remedy. Going deeper, I said, why you have fear of cancer? He said, doctor, my brother died of cancer and I saw him in pains. His pains were terrible. And then when he was talking about pains, that patient just stood up from his chair and he got restless. He started walking in my clinic and I had to settle him down. I said, talk me about your pains. Doctor, I can't tolerate pain. So whenever I think about pain, I become panicked. So if you'll see on a superficial level, you will understand he is sensitive to the pain of his brother. I reconfirm him. Do you have sensitivity towards your brother's pain? Or are you sensitive to pain? Doctor, I'm very sensitive to pain. Since my childhood, even if I get hurt, I'll make a great scene out of it. I can't tolerate pain. Right? Now, going much deeper. How's anger? I don't get angry. I don't express my anger. I don't get into fights. I said, why you don't get into the fights? See, doctor, if I get into the fights, what will happen, I can't control. My anger becomes so aggressive, I can just smash opposite person's face. I just can't control myself in that moment. It is impossible for me to control myself. And for me, the remedy was very clear. The remedy which I gave was cantharides. We know that cantharides is a remedy which is made from Spanish fly. We usually, we usually give it for urinary complaint, but many of us don't know cantharides is one of the most deepest remedy in our materia medica. When you give at the level of mentals, but you have to try to extract the person at that level. Okay, so your conscious part of the brain are your thoughts and process which you are aware of and which you can control. Your subconscious mind, the second part, is the memories and stored knowledge. Means, you know what, something has happened in the past, you have covered up. It's like, you put something on the ground, with time the soil will cover it up, but it is there, right? You never know, when there is a very big rainfall, the mud will go away and the thing will come up. So also is the subconscious level, where the things have happened in your life since your childhood, but they are covered up, they are compensated, they no longer affects you, but maybe a very big trigger can take it out. Like, this is where we call about childhood traumas, or something big traumas which has happened in our life. And when these traumas or childhood events, or you know childhood habits are not processed properly, they can get triggered anytime. Going more deeper, they are the most uncontrollable aspects are your fears, your violent motives, your unaccepted sexual desires, irrational wishes, immoral urges, shameful experiences, selfish needs. So this is the most unconscious part of your mind, where you have to try to get into the patient. Like, what is something which he is also not aware of, right? On the superficial aspect, on the very upper part, you can get some of the symptoms, but you cannot go into the deepest and unconscious level. Certain fears are even carried from so many lives, maybe, or some fears are carried from the mother's womb. We always have a question, from where does this fear come? Or from where does this violence come? It is carried. So when you take a mind, you try to get into the deepest level of the patient, so that you can prescribe at the deepest aspect of the patient, so that you can get most beautiful results. Fine. So we have understood what is mind according to the science. Now let us understand what is limbic system. Okay, this is a new concept I'm going to talk about. What is limbic system? So limbic system is a group of, a group of a part of brain, a group of structures which help to regulate your emotions. So you have emotions coming from somewhere, but there is a part in your brain which is known as limbic system. It comprises of your amygdala, it comprises of hippocampus, hypothalamus, it comprises of thalamus. This part of the brain is that part which is concerned with your emotions. This is that part of your brain which perceives the emotions, processes the emotions, and then expresses the emotions. This is that part of your brain, which stores the emotions, which have the imprints of your past. And trust me, when you meditate, what do? You try to release this part of the motion, right? So this is limbic system. So limbic system is one of the oldest structures of your brain. It produces natural instincts that your ancestors used to survive by triggering behaviors like eat, drink, reproduce, scare, react to the surroundings, fight or flight. These are the basic reactions, right? This is not the place from where it is created, it is the place where it is processed, right? So there's something which you're perceiving. Your limbic system is a part of your brain which is processing, and then it is responding or reacting. This is your wisdom, whether you want to react or whether you want to respond. And this is where the pathology develops, because when you perceive a grief, it goes to the limbic system. Suppose there's a disappointment in love, right? You perceive a disappointment in love, you go to the limbic system, your information will go to the limbic system of your brain. So your brain will not take this situation as the first time situation happening. It will try to correlate in past. Yes, in the past, two boys have ditched me, they have cheated with me, all boys are cheaters, I can't tolerate this thing. I don't want to get married in my life. I'll create boundaries in my life. I'll work more for women. I'll do more of social work. And this is how the patient starts responding, right? So the remedy is Ignatia Ambra. So there are many components of your limbic system that give a lot of responsibilities. For example, limbic system is the part which manages your memory. It helps you to learn from them. It also helps you to keep stimulated and keep motivated. So it is one of the most important part of your brain. Now let us understand very briefly about the 4 most important components of limbic system and their function. So this is the part which I'm going to share with you is important when you talk to modern science. It is a part when you can talk to your patients in this language. It is more a scientific part, right? So we all know that the 4 most important part is your hypothalamus, amygdala, hippocampus, and thalamus, correct? And basal ganglia. Now, all these play a very different role. From all of these, the most important part is your amygdala, your hippocampus, your basal ganglia. These are the most basic part of your brain which processes your emotions. And we hear about neuroplasticity a lot since few years. This part of the brain is where neuroplasticity works. This is a part of the brain. If you work properly, you give self manifestation, you reassure yourself. It is here in this limbic system, the things start turning back. Like, we are hearing a lot, manifest, you want to you want to do something good, you want to achieve this thing, motivate yourself. It is this part of the brain where this process works, right? So first we'll talk about hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus produces hormone which helps you to sleep and manage your moods, hunger, thirst, sexual arousals, blood pressure, body temperature, and heart rate. That's the most important part. We all know that. Now comes amygdala. Amygdala plays a role amygdala plays a very important role in how you experience emotions and feelings. For example, a thought comes into a patient's mind. For example, a thought will come, I have to make a presentation tomorrow. So this is a thought which is coming, correct? In a day, a normal person thinks about 70 to 80,000 of thoughts. They come across his brain. So a thought enters into your mind. I have to make a presentation, or I have to talk to my mother-in-law, or I have an examination to give. Now, this is just a thought. Now, when you attach a feeling to the thought, like what happens if I'm not able to do? In the past, when I was giving a presentation, there was a failure. Oh my God, you start experiencing an emotion with that thought. This is called as you start having a feeling. Thought doesn't have any feeling. When you attach emotion to the thought, or when you attach feeling to the thought, you make it as an emotion. What is the emotion? Emotion is energy in motion. Wherever the energy of emotion goes, you will start exaggerating that thing. For example, if someone has a disappointment in love, right? So what happens? Yes, I was cheated in my past, or I want to get married to this man, but I'm not able to get married. He's not okay with that marriage. Now, this is just a thought which has come into your mind or into a patient's mind. When the patient starts attaching emotions or feeling, now what will happen? What people will think about me? I get a lot of love from him. I get a lot of attention for him. I need this love and attention. I just can't be without him. You start putting feelings into that. Or if someone has insulted you, a thought came, yeah, that man insulted me in the past. Fine. This is just a thought coming into your mind. And what do? When you put an emotion, you'll give 3 to 4 abusive language to that. He should die. He should not live. He doesn't deserve this kind of thing. You create a lot of hatred and grudges like nitric acid. So that becomes feeling. And it is amygdala that place which processes these feelings and make it an imprint into your mind. So every time when you will have a disappointment, every time you will have a hurt, it is here where the thing have been imprinted. And when we say you should meditate, what we do in meditation, what we do in mindfulness, we just focus on the thought and we don't just react to the emotions coming with it. So this is how meditation make you much stronger. One more important thing I would like to talk about amygdala, So it is amygdala where you have all your subconscious urges, which you don't even like to face it. When you are into a sleep, especially when you are in REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep, here, what happens? All the subconscious urges, they are just thrown up. They come to the surface, correct? In the form of dreams. That is why sometimes dreams are not related, but they are just cleaning off your subconscious mind, which is very important. So in people who are in depression, people who are in schizophrenia, people who have bipolar mood disorder, it is here that their subconscious feelings are not coming out. They don't get dreams anymore. So whenever I give medicine to my patients, especially they're suffering from depression, anxieties, or fears, or schizophrenia, I say them, you will get dreams. They will be unrelated dreams. Talk to me about it. And the patient, when he starts feeling, he will always say, doctor, I never used to get dream, but now I'm getting dreams. This is why, because subconsciously your amygdala is releasing the subconscious burden or unconscious burden, which is making you sick. Got it? So this is amygdala. Now thalamus. Thalamus processes sensory information like hearing, taste, sight, touch, helps with memory, planning, and emotions. Now, I am into meditation maybe since 28 years. So when I was just in my second year of college, there we learned about how we create reactions, and then there was a process given. It is the sensory organs which receive part 1. Part 2, we react to whatever we receive. Suppose someone is giving you a bad word. What happens when you receive a bad word? You react to that bad word. This is not good. How can that person tell me like this? And then you start processing. I don't want this. I don't like this. How can he do this with me? And then you have a pathology. And now when you correlate with the science and the limbic system, it's saying the same thing. The thalamus receives from sensory information, your amygdala processes it, and it is the hippocampus who has the ability to form new memories. Means it has the capacity to to erase the old memories, to erase the old imprints, and can make a new memories. So it is here in hippocampus when you give self-love, self-assurance, or what do you call, if you self-motivate yourself, you can make new form of memories. And maybe when you give homeopathic medication, this medication stimulates the body's vital force, stimulates your body's energy system, which resets your limbic system to make new imprints, to heal the old imprints. This is the depth of homeopathy. It works at that level, because when your emotions in the past have disturbed your subconscious mind, it is the homeopathy when given at the deepest prescription level, understanding the patient at the deepest level, can reverse it, right? So this is in short about limbic system. So what is the function of limbic system? The main function is, one is emotion, second is your behavior, third is your motivation, fourth is memory, and most important is your autonomic nervous system. Now, limbic system is again connected with autonomic nervous system. I'm not going to go deep with it, but we all know that autonomic nervous system are sympathetic and parasympathetic, right? So the sympathetic nervous system is always in fight and flight mode. It is your parasympathetic nervous system which is always in neutral form. it slows down you. It, for example, sympathetic will increase your activity, parasympathetic will decrease the activity. So we are, nowadays always in a state of stress. We are constantly in a state of stress. Basically, our autonomic nervous system was made when our cerebral cortex started developing, when we evolved from apes to humans. What is the difference between when we evolved from apes to human? Was we got cerebral cortex. Now, cerebral cortex has two parts, again, not going into deep, which is a frontal, and you have a reptilian brain, right? So for frontal brain is that part of your brain which is your evolved brain, right? Now, when we were evolving, we were becoming more human, we developed something which is known as autonomic nervous system, right? So what is the state? Sympathetic state and parasympathetic state. Now, what is a sympathetic state? Whenever you are in constant stress, your sympathetic nervous system is stimulated. Whenever your sympathetic nervous system is stimulated, right, what happens is there is a decrease of alpha waves. Alpha waves are those waves which are made by your brain, which helps in healing. It helps in creativity. It's more spiritual. It gives you more productivity. It increases beta waves, which gives you a lot of stress. It decreases mental focus. It decreases your cognition. It increases the activity of limbic system. It decreases your memory. So people who are always in stress, they end up into Alzheimer's, dementia. They start forgetting things. They cannot process things well. They easily go into anxiety because they are super stressed. Correct? Now we will say, doctor, we have stress in your life. Yes, you have stress in your life, but you have to understand and you have to filter what to take and what not to take. Right? When you stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, you increase your alpha waves, you decrease beta waves. It is here where mental focus actually increases. When we get this status, when we are in a state of meditation. Correct? So it's very important to meditate. And second way I can say is when you give a proper homeopathic medication, you decrease the stress, patient gets the capacity to filter his emotions. He has the capacity to balance his stress. Now, I would just like to add one thing to it. We have normalized nowadays diabetes. Yeah, we should get after 50. Blood pressure. Yeah, it's okay to get blood pressure after 50s. Joint pain. Yeah, it is very normal to have joint pain. No, as a human, we are not made to fall sick. We have become sick. How? Because we are constantly in state of stress. Now, why was autonomic nervous system, made by the nature? The reason was we were in caves. हम caves में रहते थे, right? When we were in caves, we were in state of threat. There will be a lion attacking us, there will be a tiger attacking us, or there can be any wild animal attacking us. So whenever we see a lion attacking us or a wild animal attacking us, a fight and flight response used to get initiated. When it got initiated, your sympathetic nervous system got stimulated. When your sympathetic nervous system got stimulated, it is a vagus nerve which will go to the heart. It will increase your heart rate. It will go to your extremities where it will increase the contraction of your calf muscle. It will go to the lungs. It will increase the breathing. It will increase the glucose in your body. Because of that, you will run faster. You will think faster. Correct? But when there is no threat, we used to go back to our parasympathetic state where we used to relax, we used to process things properly, and this is why we could discover a lot of things. But now we are in a social jungle, unfortunately. In a social jungle, we have a threat from humans, or we have got an habit to get threat from humans because we have expectations from humans. Like, this person has to be good with me. This person has to be bad with me. She has to look towards me. This person has to respect me. Because of the social threat, what happens is, we are constantly in state of stress. Because of this constant state of stress, we get a lot of pathological diseases. So this is how you get pathology, and this is why mind is very important, right? When you go to the Eastern philosophy, you'll understand that there's something which is known as koshas. They are the energy layers of the body which surround your soul. So there are pancha koshas. I'll not go deep into it, which is Annamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha. Then you have a Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha. So the third part is Manomaya kosha. This is the mental sheet. Mind is not just an emotion, right? It is the Manomaya kosha or the mental sheet, which is your mind plus your sensory organs, which takes meaning from the world, right? Annamaya kosha is your body. In short, I'm going to tell you. Pranamaya kosha is where the energy flows in your body. All right. Manamaya kosha is the mental sheet. This is where your emotions are processed, or you perceive your emotions from your environment. You keep yourself neutral or unneutral. This is the Manamaya kosha. Vijnanamaya kosha is when you evolve, you become more mindful, you become more wise. This is the place where Vijnanamaya kosha is evolved. And Anandamaya kosha is your enlightened soul, right? So here it is your Manamaya kosha, which connects your body to the other parts, like your Vijnanamaya kosha, Annamaya kosha. So Mana is a very important even in our Vedas. Like it is a Mana which is, what do you call as it is a place where you process your memory, it is a place where you process your energy, and it is a place which connects your mind, your vital energy, and your higher self. So when your Manamaya kosha, your mental health is disturbed, it is going to disturb your body, because your body is nothing without mind. Your body is nothing without your soul. Mind is the most vital part of your body. Correct? Now, the important part comes is then the most important part comes is right. So the most important part comes is now, as a patient enters to your clinic, how do you take the mental symptoms, right? So how do you get the mental symptoms of the patient? Number one, before you want mental symptoms of the patient, it is very important for you to have a very good aura around you. You have to be more evolved. You have to be more receiving. Correct? Whenever you want to go deeper to the patient, you should be much deeper. If you're shallow, your soul is shallow, if you yourself is shallow personality, you cannot go deep into opposite person. The deeper you go, you get the capacity to go deeper into opposite person. So make your aura very, very, very clear. One, meditate, think good, read good books. Number two, I always tell, sit well groomed in your clinic. Apply some perfume. Your ambience should be very good, because here the patient, when comes to you, has a lot of stress in his life. He is himself carrying a lot of negative aura. When you're groomed, give a good smile, receive the patient with a good smile. He should feel confident when he comes to you, but never show overconfidence in your clinic. Third, make patient very comfortable in your clinic. Your body language is very important. You should have a very good body language whenever you talk to the patient. Never show any eagerness when you're taking a case. Never show, see, I want your mind, give me your mind, what is happening in your life. Never ask, never be very eager with your patient. Why? Because the patient will not be comfortable. Tell your patient that, see, I'm going to ask some mental symptoms. I'll go much deeper in your life. Maybe you will cry, maybe you will laugh. I need you to trust me. Create that trust with your patient. Now, how to collect mental symptoms of the patient? So usually what I do in my clinic is, one, I first try to know what is the cause. I just want the cause of the disease, right? How did it start? Like, see, he was born normal, correct? He was born normal. what has happened in his life that this pathology started. Correct? Now, how do we know that? First, what do? The most important part is the past history. When you take the past history of the patient, you'll understand from the time he was born till today what pathologies he has gone through. So this part does not only help me to know his medical history, but it gives me a very good, I could say, insight into knowing how the pathology started. For example, a patient came to my clinic. She had rheumatoid arthritis, right? When she gave a complete history, yes, doctor, I got rheumatoid arthritis. I said, what happened? She said, doctor, whenever I got married, and after marriage, after 2 years of marriage, I got rheumatoid arthritis. Fine. So my direct question for the patient was, what happened 6 months before your marriage, or what was happening in that year? So remember, when you have an autoimmune condition, ask, ask for a long duration of stress. What is autoimmune condition here? Your body starts attacking your body, correct? Now, for that to happen, for that conflict to happen, you at least need a stretch of 1 year. Or the emotion has to be so penetrating, it has to be so deep, like a sharp knife, it should affect at a stretch. So that patient came, like, doctor, suddenly I got rheumatoid arthritis. I was in bed and I couldn't move for many years, right? I said, what happened during that period? I said, doctor, I got married. It was a love marriage. Acha, then what happened? Before our marriage, my husband was very romantic. He was very good. After we got married, my mother-in-law became sick. My husband's whole focus shifted from me to my mother-in-law. He was not understanding what I want, what were my needs. I wanted to go out. He could not understand. The thing was very clear. She felt forsaken in this case, correct? Then I started asking her more deeper. How did you feel when you felt forsaken? See, you should not stop till what happened. You have to make understand what the patient feel. See what I said? Thought with feelings. How did it feel when you felt forsaken? Doctor, I felt terrible, I'll tell you, doctor. And she started weeping. Doctor, I felt very terrible when I felt my husband was not paying attention to him. I was seeking his attention. I was telling him, Chalo, let's go out. But he was saying, my mother is sick, I have to take care. I said, how was it feeling? I felt like weeping. I did not want it to be at that home. But still, you know what, doctor, I had no option. So the remedy was very clear for me. Somewhere I need a strong remedy of neglected feeling. So I took the rubric ailments from being neglected. Correct? What she was doing, she was crying, and she was seeking a lot of attention. So I need a remedy who wants attention. But now I'm so jealous of my mother-in-law. I don't like to see her face. I need a remedy of strong jealousy. Correct? And then she had other symptoms like better by motion, aggravation by rest. Uh, she is a very delicate woman. I gave him pulsatilla, which worked beautifully. Correct? Now, for these cases, if you just give a modality, it will not work. You have to understand the mind, the patient, his present symptoms, and his past symptoms. You have to connect the dots. You have to connect the dots of his life. Another case, I'll tell you. There was a patient in my clinic. He came with liver failure. Okay. So I asked him what happened. Well, the doctor, he came with his wife. Like, he got a liver failure. His SGPT-OT counts were very high. He was very irritable, highly anticipated. You know, a lot of anxiety. He said, doctor, I don't get sleep at night. I don't like to talk to people. And if someone talks to me, I get irritated. His wife said, doctor, I don't know why he's so irritated. For little things, he gets irritated. I said, okay, doctor, I have a lot of responsibilities in my life. My father died when I was in childhood. Now I went to his child. What happened in your childhood? The doctor, when I was small, my father died. So at very early age, I got a lot of responsibilities. Then my mother was always working. I couldn't get the love from her, what love I wanted. And did you ask for love? No, doctor, I did not ask for love. So as my mother was working, I had to stay with my nani nana. Okay, they love me, that's fine. But I couldn't get my motherly love. I couldn't demand things because I was with my nana nani. So he felt what had happened in his life is he felt I couldn't get the love, I couldn't get the affection, what I want, what I deserve. That was his childhood trauma which he went through. And doctor, since then, for me, the life is about working, earning money, and most importantly, I cannot connect with people. Though I got married to my wife, I cannot connect with her at deeper aspect because I can't ask for love. I cannot demand for love. I feel my duty is just to give, and I can't receive because if I ask, what will happen? She will leave me. So this was his delusion. Why? Because in his childhood, he couldn't get what he wanted, the love, the uncompensated love. And now how he was? He was a person very hardworking, very irritable, very anticipated. He got a liver pathology. He doesn't like fights. He never have any confrontation. He cannot say no to anyone. The remedy was magnesium, which worked beautifully. Fine. Now, another aspect how when you take the mind of the patient is very important to note, like, what is the change disposition of the patient. Like, the patient will say, doctor, in my childhood I was very aggressive. I did not like anyone talking against me, typical Nakswamika. But now I've become very mild. It's okay for me. Anything happens if anyone hurts me. How it happened after I got disappointment in love, I became very mild, I became very gentle, I became too understanding. I cannot tolerate injustice. I have 2 to 3 disappointments in life. So this is a changed disposition. So you have to note what has changed in this person. Remedy I gave was causticum. Correct? So these are some of the major aspects which we have to see when you take the mental symptoms. One is go to the past traumas. Second, search for causations. Third is what is the changed disposition of the patient. And most important part is you have to connect everything. So how you will do, you'll ask his anger, you'll ask his fears, you'll ask his speed, you'll observe the patient. These are some of the things you will note in the case. Whenever you're taking a case, just sit and observe. Don't hunt for the remedy. Sit, observe, take a back seat, just perceive. Perceive that person, what has happened in his life, why has become like this, what he has gone through. Know that person. Try to know that person. Be a very good listener. Don't show your goodness and excitement. Be a friend, philosopher, and a guide. Never make patient feel that you're going to judge him. Explain him the importance of mental symptoms in homeopathic prescriptions. So when you see at these aspects of the case, go more deeper, and this is how we can take some of the mental symptoms. Till you don't know the importance of mental symptoms, you cannot go deeper into the case. So this is how I would like to conclude my today's talk as we are running out of time. So yes.
It's for discussion. And thank you, Dr. Shelly Sharma. It's really a very good session. You really show the importance and relevance of studying this mental aspect of a child case. And simply sit in your chair and watch and hear what the patient is telling, and you can go with the interpretation in the final end to make it sure that the patient can be saved with the shortest possible time. Thank you once again, and it's the time for discussion. Already, Dr. Amir Malik from Pakistan is raised his hand, and now he can go. You can go ahead with the discussion, and then we will come back to see the records. So, okay.
Hello, Namaskaram, greetings, Honorable Dr. Shelley, on all Honorable Doctors of Ifph, our seniors. Great thanks and grand congratulations for the continuously working. Honorable Dr. Shelley, your session is excellent. You have given a very good major ailment, the mind rubrics. It's a very big thing. Even the disease exists due to the mind. If you accept that disease will penetrate. If you not, it will not. Free radical system is working for us. Honorable Doctor, my question is round about little bit technical. If the amygdala and hippocampus, there is a sclerosis for these major two things, because the left side is very important side of the brain. 99 autistic children are suffering from the deficiency and the dysfunction of hippocampus and amygdala, and the neurotransmitter system is not working. The psychiatric associations of USA and London make these patients syndrome, but I believe they are not syndrome. These are the pure patients of homeopathic system of medicine. And I have a lot of cases regarding the sclerosis of amygdala and hippocampus. And just in 1 year and 1 year and 3 months, all the cases are recovered successfully. Kindly, one thing you may advise, what medicine do you suggest for the sclerosis of these portions? And second, when your aura have affected by the bad radiations, how do you depolarize the aura? It is very important. And how you recharge your aura. Because in regarding my practice, I know that if you sleep in that way, that your left side is a female towards moon and right side is a sun towards male, means it means the positive charge of the body, and left is negative. And if you want to depolarize your aura and want to recharge, you have to touch your head, hands and feet on the earth in 5 minutes. Just in 5 minutes, the aura is depolarized by the bad waves and radiations. And if you want to recharge and make enhance and boost aura energy, you have to sleep in this way, that your left side must be into the moon, and when you wake up, your right side get the rays from sun. So the all your aura will be charged, and the disease cannot penetrate. This is what according to my knowledge. But regarding your experience, you have defined the system for the mental health regarding the amygdala and hippocampus. Please also mention in words what is that, so we could follow that, please.
I couldn't get your question. What exactly is the question?
I
Could you
am
repeat?
asking if there is a sclerosis of
Okay,
amygdala
sclerosis.
and hippocampus. What medicine do you advise in homeopathy?
So, see, sclerosis is hardening of the tissue, correct?
Yes,
Now,
and
first of all,
yes,
we'll
yes,
have
yes.
to know what has caused the sclerosis. Number one thing.
Poor blood circulation in MRI.
Okay, if there is a poor blood circulation and if the tissue is dead,
Yep.
the whole
Not that partially dead.
partially dead. See,
Yeah, not completely.
yeah. So see, if it is completely dead, as it is dead, there is no vital energy, nothing can be stimulated, correct? If it is
Yes.
partially dead, the other part of the amygdala can be made to function much better. Like,
Yep.
I'll give you one example. I had a case of brain contusion. The patient had Broca's area mein, there was a contusion, and there was a it was such a bad contusion that doctor said this patient will never talk in his life.
Mm.
Okay. Now, and he will never get his memory back. After we gave the medicine, what has
Very well.
happened, he started gaining his memory, though it took 1 to 2 years. He started talking, correct? Now, what happened in this case is when we gave the medicine, it stimulated the vital force. So the whole Broca's area was not destroyed. There were some parts of the area which were functioning. So it made the functioning of that area up to the optimum. Because
Okay.
what homeopathic medication does, it will not reduce the sclerosis. It will just, what I believe is it will create a homeostasis in your system. For the
Okay.
vital force, it is very important your body is functioning at the optimum level. So it will do anything for it to work at the optimum level. To stimulate your vital force, the only thing you can do is a deep secret case taking and the Similimum. If you have to
Okay.
if anyone wants to treat deeper pathologies, we have to go to the deepest understanding of the remedy. We can see miracles. There's no
Very right.
specific remedy for it.
Okay, sir.
Very well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Doctor. God bless you. Please come again. But one thing I would like to share on the panel for all our honorable doctors and members, that sulfur have a very incredible results in the sclerosis, especially in the main basic hippocampus, amygdala, and pituitary gland. You know the four hormones, the basic hormones, which is widely using in the Western medicine to put out the patient from the trauma, from the brain injuries, is the dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin. All these hormones are the happy hormones, the love hormones, the area which converts imagination into words is basically these three major organs. So second biggest medicine I have found is pituitary, our pituitary medicine. It's endocrinal medicine, and it's very effective to recover these hormones levels, the happiness level, the love level, and the deep grief. I believe homeopathic is on the biochemical level. Homeopathic is dealing very well more than the Western medicines. But we don't go in that way to treat the patient. We go in the way, the classical way, the philosophy,
Yes,
the
sir.
miasm. We
Okay,
move
sir.
in that.
Okay,
So,
sir.
okay, okay.
Good, sir. Want to
Next
see?
time, I will share my autistic children cases on the panel. They
Okay.
incredibly recover the sclerosis,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, sir.
and
We
I'm
can
very
make.
happy by your knowledge, and God bless you. And please
Thank you.
come again, Honorable Dr. Shelley. God
Yes,
bless you.
yes, sure.
God
Yes,
bless you all.
Thank you.
Namaskaram and greetings to
It's
everyone. With
it's up.
love.
It's up to Sridhar Group, sir.
Yes, whether it is audible.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, Dr. Shelly Sharma, it was a very wonderful and excellent topic, and it is very interesting. Come again, but I like to ask one or two questions, but the time is, how many people are hand raised?
Only you can only just 2 minutes, sir. You can.
Okay, okay. Madam, how you suggest that in some cases, example, depression and phobias and anxiety and such type of the diseases, that about medicine is very useful, I agreed. But whether you like to add something just like that, counseling or psychotherapy and etc. What about your opinion about that?
See, I see. My part of counseling or psychotherapy depends upon the constitution. If it is a natural, it's a reserved remedy. I'll never counsel and do psychotherapy because they are not in the position to accept. If the remedies are more in the receiving end, this is the benefit of you us being a homeopath. Because once I know this is a natural, she will never be okay with psychotherapy. She will never be okay with counseling. You can counsel only that person who is ready to receive the counseling. Pulsatilla would love counseling. Lycopodium will enjoy counseling. Ignitia is okay with counseling. Aurum will never like counseling. Natramur will never like counseling. Phosphoric acid is not interested in counseling. So counseling and psychotherapy will work only once your remedy is stimulated at the deeper level. They are in the position to receive more information, change the brain settings, and get out of the situation.
Exactly. That's the reason.
Okay, very good answer. Thank you very much. Come again with
Yeah.
another section.
Yeah.
Very good class. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Definitely, we need your presentation in the future also, because this kind of understanding of everything is to be shared in these platforms so that doctors from around the world will be the beneficiaries. Not only that, those people from public can also know about all these things. And it is the time to wind up the session. I invite Sri Abdul Salam to say auto thanks to the session.
Thank you, Dr. Danesh. On behalf of IUPH, I would like to express my thanks to Dr. Shelly. Nice presentation, Dr. Shelly. Thank you. And all our today's visitors. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Salam, sir, and Dr. Shelly Sharma, and those who attend the session. See you all
Yes,
tomorrow.
thank
So tomorrow we will have a presentation from Dr. Sajan. He will be talking, Sajan Edison, and he will be talking about prostatomegaly and its homeopathic management. With that, we come to the end of the day 1617. Thank you all. It's over to Dr. P. Shaila to moderate the Malayalam session.